Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into one of those topics that really get you thinking about pet choices, why beagles might not be the ideal family dog.
I'm all ears. I've always seen beagles as super cute, but clearly there's more to the story, right?
Absolutely. It all starts with their origin, as English hunting hounds from the 1830s, purposely bred for hunting persistence rather than cozy domestic living.
Yep. So they were literally built for tracking scents and long hunts instead of just chilling at home.
Exactly. And while they rank as the ninth most popular breed in the US, thanks to their adorable looks and social media appeal, they come with a host of challenges.
Right, I mean, there's that 12 million plus Instagram posts under the Beagle hashtag. It's clear they've got the cuteness factor, but what about the downsides?
Well, one of the first big red flags is their vocal and howling behavior. Beagles are known to bark and howl, sometimes 10 times more than your average dog.
Yeah, that must be a nightmare if you live in an apartment, correct? And I imagine the constant baying can actually lead to neighbor complaints and even legal issues sometimes.
Exactly, and that's just the start. They're what you might call escaping artists. Studies show about 62% of beagle owners have reported escape attempts because these dogs are determined scent
Right.
chasers.
Man, that's like having a little Houdini in your yard. So if they smell something interesting, they're off on their own adventure.
Yeah, it's like they just can't resist the lure of a good scent, even if it means digging under fences or climbing over barriers.
And then there's the stubborn and independent side of them. Being bred for hunting means they've got that single-minded focus, which doesn't always translate well to obedience training.
Precisely. Training them is notoriously difficult. We're talking about basic obedience success rates of only about 60%, off-leash recall down to 25%, and housebreaking can take over a year in some cases.
Yep, I get it. So, not exactly the ideal pet for someone looking for a low-maintenance companion. But isn't there a debate about whether a strong independent streak can actually be a sign of intelligence?
That's a fair point, but in this case, that independence often translates to frustration for owners. It's like they're stuck between being clever and being completely unpredictable.
Right. It's interesting because, on one hand, their loyalty and undeniable charm can win you over. But on the other, if you're not prepared for the constant high energy levels and the training challenges, you're in for a rough ride.
Exactly. Speaking of energy, beagles have never-ending energy needs. They require at least 1.5 to 2 hours of exercise daily. If they're under-exercised, they end up becoming hyperactive and destructive.
And that ties into the destructive chewing habits we hear about, right? They have a knack for attacking anything from your shoes to kids' toys.
Yep, absolutely. Their propensity to chew on just about everything is partly due to boredom. When they're understimulated, those little teeth turn into a force of chaos, leading, not surprisingly, to a higher surrender rate to shelters.
Indeed. I read that they're twice as likely to be surrendered because of this destructive chewing behavior. That's a harsh reality for such an appealing-looking breed.
It is harsh. And then we must talk about their appetite. Beagles have an insatiable hunger. They're prone to food theft, will raid counters, and can easily become obese, making them prone to health issues like digestive problems and expensive vet bills.
Yep, I get that. I can imagine the vet bills piling up quickly with persistent issues like that. It's like every adorable moment comes with a hidden cost.
Totally. And speaking of hidden costs, their grooming and shedding are also constant battlefields. They shed so much year-round, especially during spring and fall, and their short, sticky hair clings to furniture and clothing.
Right. So, not only do you have to deal with the noise and destructive habits, but also constant cleaning and maintenance.
Yep, exactly so. And let's not forget about separation anxiety. Beagles are highly social and really need constant companionship. When left alone for too long, they develop severe anxiety, which can lead to even more destructive behaviors.
That's tough. That's a real challenge for working owners. I mean, if you're at the office all day, these little critters can really spiral out of control.
Right, which is why beagles are generally only a good fit for households where multiple pets or constant human attention is available.
So would you say that despite their appeal, Beagles require a very specific lifestyle to actually flourish?
Precisely, they're not really suited for low-energy families or individuals living alone. They need work-from-home owners or multi-pet households who can give them like the capacity for constant interaction.
Yeah, exactly. And what about their performance as working dogs? I've heard they do quite well in professional roles, such as TSA luggage screening or even medical alert services.
Right, in structured and controlled environments with expert handlers, beagles can be top performers. Their incredible scent abilities shine there. It's just that in a regular home setting, that same scent drive tends to override training commands, which can lead to chaotic outcomes.
Mm-hmm. That really creates a stark contrast between their work life and home life, doesn't it?
It sure does, and this is where realistic expectations come into play. Potential beagle owners really need to be upfront about their lifestyle, experience, and their tolerance for the challenges that come with the breed.
Definitely. I mean, honestly, even though they're undeniably cute and loyal, these dogs are basically high maintenance in almost every aspect, from training and exercise to cleaning up after their constant shedding.
Exactly. They might be trainable with enough experience and the right environment, but for many, a beagle's challenging traits, excessive vocalization, escapism, destructiveness, make them more trouble than they're worth.
I agree. I have to challenge one point here, though. Isn't it a bit harsh to say beagles suck as dogs? I mean, some might argue that every dog has its quirks, and with proper care, beagles can be a joy.
That's a fair critique, and I appreciate it. While it's true that every breed has its imperfections, the argument here is that beagles, due to their very specific traits honed by hunting legacy, present challenges that many aren't prepared for.
Right. Fair enough. So for people who can truly meet those needs, like working with their energy, dedicating to training, and coping with the potential chaos, they might actually thrive.
Exactly. The takeaway is to be honest about your capabilities. Beagles are best for those who understand their persistent scent drive, vocal tendencies, and high exercise needs. If you can commit, they can be a happy, loyal companion. If not, you might be signing up for an endless source of stress.
Absolutely. Well then, it seems like owning a beagle is more of a lifestyle choice than just picking up an adorable pet off the shelf.
That's exactly it. So think before you beagle, in every sense of the term, know the pros and cons, and be absolutely sure that your lifestyle matches what these energetic, vocal, and sometimes unpredictable canines
Right on.
require.
Thanks for this illuminating discussion. It's definitely given me a lot to think about when it comes to choosing a pet.
And thanks for sharing your thoughts too. Remember, folks, every dog has its charm, but the details matter when it comes to making a true lifetime commitment.
Absolutely. Till next time, keep asking the tough questions about pet ownership and maybe do a little extra research before you bring that beagle home.